because immediately after the game, he and his entourage went back onto court and he practiced shooting for an hour. Why? Because he took the last 5 shots for Lakers and missed every one. So he went out and practiced for an hour. I see a few nods. I see a few smiles of approval. Yes? Yeah? Yeah? I say no. I say no. Because Kobe displays what we have with so many kids here. What Kobe failed to see, that on 2 of the offenses, one off their power down, on one off their shuffle offense, Pau Gasol was standing absolutely free underneath the basket. Did Kobe give him the ball? No. Why? Because it's Kobe. And Kobe takes the shots. So Kobe's view is, I missed the shots. I'm going to make myself a better shooter. Very good of him to go and work at his shooting. Maybe he should have gone and worked at his decision making. Just a personal thought, but most of the kids I teach and coach don't agree with me. Players have got to work at the basic skills of the game. It's dirty work. It's hard work. The majority of our level 2 coaches, through no fault of their own, have not the foggiest idea of how to develop the fundamentals of the game, because they make it boring. They have never been given the tools to make it interesting in developing skills. Strength and conditioning is absolutely essential for the older players. Absolutely essential. And the understanding of the game, the decision making, is something that is really important. For me, unless we can have a process where the kid can come through and look at a situation where, like a footballer, he or she can make a living out of playing the game, we're always going to be losing players. We are always going to be losing players because their options are so few. So let's look at a talented player from Northamptonshire. What are their prospects? 1, go to one of the academies. Lots of academies around the country. What is the main aim of the academy, would you think? To develop players? Well, if you look at the Greek for academy, that's what you do. Development of the individual person. That's what an academy was. What are the academies interested in? Winning games. British College Championships, elite leagues. It's all about winning titles for your college and making it look good. And I know, because my college won a couple and the principal was delighted. Never asked me about, well, you know, did that player develop or this player develop? We won. If the kid stays at school and moves on, they've got the prospect of moving to a university where they have a decent program. Possibly linked with a BBL club or a National League club. But I tell you what, it is very tenuous. You look at the last, not this year's, the previous year's university champions. North London, or London Met, I think it was called then. It became London Met, sorry, my bad. Where were London Met this year? No team. All the funding taken away, every penny. Coach sacked. 3 of my guys from Malton Academy had been promised scholarships if they went to London Met by Solomon. And suddenly, in the middle of the summer, they're left with that thing of, yeah, I could go to university there, but there's no basketball program. And I chose there because I could do my academics and my basketball. It's happening everywhere. And with the cuts we're going to get, it's going to get worse. So that's a pretty dodgy route. So, go to the States, progress through the college system. A lot of British players have done this, but they don't like it. Because they don't understand the system. So here we are. Here's our college team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're called returnees. They're all back. Here are my seniors and my juniors raring to go for the season. I picked deliberately on Phil Ireson, you know, the main man from Northamptonshire. He's been promised a scholarship. So Phil has been the dude around Northamptonshire. He's the man. You know, he's been training points for the local clubs, for the National League. He's in the English junior men's team, and here he arrives here. What does he have to do for a year? Sit on the bench. He's a freshman, for Christ's sake. Unless he is an absolute superstar, usually above 6'10" tall, he's got to earn his corn. He's here for his last 2 years. Maybe 3 if he's outstanding. And I could tell you a whole pile of English kids have found that really, really difficult. And where do they go after American colleges? Not that many go to the NBA. So the majority of them will come back to Europe. Will they play in England? Probably not. So you're going to be an Andy Beck. You're going to be a journeyman who's, you know, Andy is now playing in his 10th country. 10 countries he's had to move his family around. I think at the moment he's not even taken his family to the Ukraine. I think his family is still back in Market Harbour. Joel Freeland, young man, unattached, doing really well, doing Ikaha in Malaga. But that's the outlet. Go to the States, develop your game in the college system, and go on. Or, and there are 1 or 2 kids now looking to follow the steps of Dan Clark and Devon Van Oostrum, who have gone to Spain. 1 to Estudiantes and 1 to what it was, Tau. It's now the team up in Laboral, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they've got involved in their programs. They're learning Spanish, and you know, and they're developing their game. But you know, that's the way forward. To stay actually in this country, you know, you can play at a reasonable level and combine it with your academics. And get a decent job. I can say that because my own son did it. But if you want to earn money from the game, then you've got to look at those other outlets. For me, and I'm trying to be a realist, I think 2012 is an absolute critical year. I think if we blow it this time, and basketball is going to get exposure, basketball is going to be seen on the television, the British public is going to be exposed to the highest level of competition. They will want to see more. We owe it to the young people to put a structure in place which accommodates that and facilitates it. If we don't, I honestly think we've had several chances before, with money, with sponsorship, with success. I honestly think if we blow it this time, we will remain a very, very minority sport. So it's down to all of us to try and make it a success. Thank you for your attention. If anybody, I was going to say, if anyone would like to ask any question or challenge anything I've said, I'm more than happy to do it formally here or informally, you know, over a coffee. Thank you very much.
We're going to have a couple of minutes break now for coffee and tea, and then we start the second presentation.
Take rest for 5 minutes and come back.
Just a brief chat there, have an awful lot in common in terms of our understanding and our knowledge of the game from years gone by, and I have to concur with everything you said, and some of it is relevant to what I like to talk about. Part of my main brief today was to talk about behaviour and ethics, and I think we can lump that all into behaviour. And what do we as referees see as good behaviour, bad behaviour, and why? Why do we have issues? I've been refereeing now only 7 seasons, and I've been in 4 seasons of that, I've been in the BBL. And as I've progressed through, people have asked me, how did you go through so quickly? And doesn't it piss you off when you get shouted at all the time and all these sorts of things? And I think one of the reasons why I managed to progress so quickly, and Roger will probably answer this better than I, was because of perhaps an in-depth understanding of the game from having played for 30 years, but also an understanding and some empathy with people. I was a pain in the butt as a player, absolute pain in the butt, and I know that. And I think perhaps, therefore, if you have that type of empathy, it may help you in some environments. And we'll touch on that in a minute. So what do we class as bad behaviour? What do I class as bad behaviour? Do me a favour, guys. Can you, everyone stand up just for a second? And I want you to sit down stand up first. I want you to sit down when you think the behaviour is unacceptable and you might throw out a technical foul or whatever, okay? So we're just going to go through a few scenarios, okay? You've just had what you perceive as a bad call against you, okay? So that's okay, yeah? Okay. That's bullshit. Okay? Alright. No, you don't agree. Sorry, excuse my language, ladies. Fuck you. Okay? Right. So we all play the same game. We all referee the same game. We have 3 different levels of tolerance there, just within a group of, what have we got in here, 15 people. Okay? Our tolerance levels are different as individuals, as players and coaches, as referees within a game. There's 3 of us within a game, or 2 in EB and 3 in BBL. We all have different tolerance levels, okay? I'm going to try and put you in a situation now. I want you to think of yourself as a guard. Some of you will have been guards, some of you won't have been. So I want you to think of yourself as a player. Give me a show of hands here on, okay, you're playing against zone defence, okay? You've got 3 basic options. Let's say those options are, number 1, you're going to shoot over the zone, okay, to try and bring the zone out more, okay, to freeze things up. That's option 1, okay? Option 2 is you may decide to dribble against the zone, get the zone to collapse, and then dish it out for a perimeter shot, okay? Option 3 is you're going to ping the ball around to get the zone moving until you find space. Give me a show of hands who thinks that option 1 is the favoured option. Okay? Option 2. Option 3. Okay? And you probably think something different.
Yeah.
Okay? So again, we all play the same game, yet we've got 3, 4 different ideas of how to beat a zone. Okay? Yet we all play the same game. So why, therefore, do you think that I should have the same view of a foul as you do? Or as you do? Why would you have the same view of a foul as you? We have different tolerance levels, we have different feelings on the game, we see the game differently. So just because you think something is a foul doesn't necessarily mean I will, doesn't necessarily mean Roger will. Likewise, Roger, Martin and I are doing a game. Just because I see something as a foul doesn't mean Roger will agree with it. And believe me, we do have those discussions during games and timeouts, Roger. That will happen, okay? So, what I ask you is, what does the word referee mean? Where is its derivative? Where does it come from? It comes from the word refer, which means you ask somebody to make a decision. You refer to somebody. You are asking their opinion. Reason you're asking their opinion? Because you're playing a competitive game. We can't have a competitive game without a referee, because you think it's a foul because you're on offence and you don't think it's a foul because you're on defence. Okay? We have anarchy. So we have somebody to refer to. Yeah? Therefore, by inference, you are asking my opinion on the game. That's all you're asking, my opinion. Who's your favourite football team?
Tottenham Hotspur, of course.
Well, I couldn't pick that any better. West Ham. So they're rubbish. What do you think, West Ham?
Oh, rubbish.
Well, there you go. It's an opinion. I asked an opinion, he asked an opinion. Okay? So where, therefore, does it allow you, and here's a rule book, and I'll pass this around, I'll pass the mechanic book around.